Is there anybody else in the group who would like to respond to that? Please start with your name and country.
Actually, I'm traveling with this group. I'm from the State Department. But
My sympathies.
I'm a contractor, but I just finished last month doing a 21-day trip similar to this one on H1N1 preparedness. And there were people from about 25 countries. About half of them were doctors, and the other half were health officials and people from NGOs from many countries. And we went to places like Riverside, California, where there had been an outbreak. We went to places like Johns Hopkins and to CDC in Atlanta. And this group was remarkably unanimous about the urgency of the potential of the pandemic. And there's a huge amount of communication going on now. For example, the head of surveillance, medical surveillance from the United Emirates, where people have been very concerned about people going to on the Hajj, going to Saudi Arabia, and the possibility of infection, and where the which group should be priorities. And I'd be happy to talk to you about that later, but I wanted to tell you that not only the United States, which was very concerned about reviewing H1N1 preparedness, it was an education for me, but the people and all of the participants were also dedicated and devoted to working for solutions.
Thank you very much. Was there another? No. Why don't we go to the new question? No?
Thank you. Assuming that President Václav Klaus can be persuaded to sign the pending treaty to help further integrate Europe, is that likely to result in a greater assertiveness on the part of the Europeans vis-a-vis other major powers, such as China and the US? It seems as though Europe has been somewhat quiet on the world stage, given its size and the importance of its overall economy.
Adriana, why don't you start, because Ireland has been central to some of this question.
I think one of the things that came out over the last few months, and particularly in Ireland with the kind of the second referendum on Lisbon, is that there's some uncertainty about what will happen post-Lisbon. I think it's probably fair to say that with when Lisbon goes ahead, it'll be easier for the EU to speak with one voice. But at the same time, the EU, it's not going to fundamentally change in that the constituent parts of the EU will remain the same. So I'm not sure that it will change fundamentally the stance on things. So I think it will make it easier perhaps for the EU to engage with other countries in that, with the special representative, with the European Foreign Minister. I think that may change the procedure somewhat, but I don't think there will be a fundamental shift in policy. That would be just my own view on it. I don't know, maybe Michael might have a different view.
So the answer is it's easier to speak with one voice if only they could figure out one thing to say. I believe there was a question here in the front.
Thank you. For those of us here in the U.S. who's been lucky enough to travel to Europe or India or Asia, we have a context when we see the news that comes from those places. We can smell the smells, we can hear the noises, just as you go to Nebraska and hear the cows and the corn is growing. And so when you go back, you have the context in which to hear the news. I was delighted to hear your comments